Hello, hello. Welcome to SoftFlex Company's Customer Appreciation Week. We are on video number 5 of 15. I can hardly believe it. That means we're almost 1/3 of the way through the week, and everything is going pretty swimmingly. We've had some great projects from our friend Cassandra at Beads to Live By. We had a really nice project also from myself and Sarah James from Jesse James Beads. And we also spent time, why is it eluding me who I spent time with yesterday? Oh, Joyce, because she's my coworker. It feels automatic. I talk to her every day. I also spent time with Joyce Trowbridge from Just Beat It, who is also a coworker of mine here at SoftFlexCompany.com. Next up is the fabulous, the beautiful, the most talented Kay Goss of Stars Beads and Beadoria. I'm going to flash this down so you can see how beautiful this lady is.
Well, that was quite the intro.
I'm so happy to be able to spend some time with you, Kay. Kay and I go way back.
I was trying to find some pictures because I know that there was such sad news in the SoftFlex company, and I was trying to find some of those old pictures.
I know. I need to dig through. I have a big bin upstairs, but it's up kind of high.
Yeah.
And I need to probably dig through there and grab out some real jewels from back in the day.
Right.
I might do that like over the weekend or something. But yeah, Kay grew up basically in a bead store, right, Kay?
So pretty much. Well, I guess I grew up even before the bead store. So my mom was a traveler, so my mom's name is Star, so that's where Stars Beads originates from. So that was our original brick and mortar that had been going for over a couple decades. And so we traveled the world trying to find the best things in the world to bring back to the U.S. to our brick and mortar. And my mom actually used to take people around with her. So she used to take tours and bring people on beading trips too. So, and I got to carry all bags.
Have you thought about doing that yourself? Like,
I have, and the thing is like bead retreats now and that sort of thing. But, when motherhood hits, there's kind of this whole break in life, right? So maybe, when I get a little bit older, but we're a little bit busy being moms, right?
Yes, for sure. Right before this, Kay was running off to get some food for her oldest son, and then she's
like, he's still hungry. Hold on, I just gotta throw it in a bowl, and I'll be right back.
And she's actually expecting baby number 2, and that will be coming at the end of December.
Coming up. So there's the bump view. So if you hear me grunting every so often, trying to bend in the right ways, that's why.
How funny. Well, I think going on a bead adventure with you would be fun, and maybe that's something you can do when the kids get just a little bit older, and they can carry the bags now.
That's right. I am quite a shopper. I'm a shopaholic a little bit.
So Stars Beads, the bead store that Kay's mom initially owned, and then I think Kay owned it a little bit later, has carried SoftFlex for as long as I can remember. We used to do a bead show with them. I think it was the Bead Society of Northern Virginia. Is that right?
Yes.
Something like that.
And was it at the underneath like a hotel?
New Carrollton? Is that the name of that town?
There is a New Carrollton. There was like the Armory. There was a couple different locations. They also did like our community center in Vienna, and so
Vienna. I remember Vienna. That was pretty. I was like, this is a really pretty spot. this little town here is really cute.
Well, there's been some photos in my stash group of, some of my followers from Virginia, and they have posted kind of the things that they're doing to the entire corner where we used to be. And so they've torn apart all the inside. And so stripping everything down, the outside of the building's been stripped. And I'm interested to see what is going to be there now.
Yeah.
I heard next door, which used to be a consignment shop, is going to, I think, be a dentist office. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But I don't know what's in my space but I've heard that there's going to be 17,000 square feet. They're going to have some living there as well as shops too. So I think it's going to be kind of,
dual purpose.
Yeah, kind of like the bottom level of shops, and then maybe the above, they're supposed to have, some sort of living.
Do you miss having a bead store?
No.
It's a lot of work.
And this is a lot of work in a different way, but I've liked being able to be at home, and that's really the biggest thing since this time of my life, you got kids, so.
Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah.
And we get that flexibility. You can pop on kind of, when it's good, and try to work out all of those kinks in a different way, like I say.
Yeah. They're only small for so long, and they only really need you for so long,
Yeah.
I mean, they'll always need you, but need you in the same way they do right now when they're little.
Well, I always feel like that's the biggest regret for parents is this time and this age, and and they don't get that time, and that's why I think becoming a grandparent is so great, because then you feel, oh, now this is the time I missed with my kids because I was busy working my butt off,
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I do both. I try to work my butt off, but also still have time for the kids and have those two schedules marry each other. Sometimes it's too much. Honestly, sometimes
I've been kind of feeling that here lately, because now we've got the puppy in the house, we've got a kitten in the house, we've got Jonah in the house, and then and we've got my body's taking a bit of a toll with growing a human here.
Yeah. Well, Kay, I see you've got your kit in front of you. I'm going to pop down to your hand camera. I'm here just to help today. I will field some questions and just
that'd be great, because I can't always see the comments, but I'm checking them out right now. So it's great to have you on, Anissa and Gail and Sherry, and let's see, we've got. Scrolling down here, I always like to say hi. So thanks for all of those that did grab a kit. I kind of put just the bead parts because I figure we're all SoftFlex lovers, so kind of having your basics, like your crimps, your craft wire, and your fine wire. Those are the couple other things that I have right here. That you will also need along with kind of your basic pliers. So, I would kind of probably consider this a little bit of an intermediate project, just because it's going to incorporate, a few techniques. We're going to do a little weaving. We're going to do some crimping. We're going to do a little bit of simple wire working. Hello, Crystal and Sherry and Deborah and Lynn and Terry and Heather. And Nancy, I'm getting to see all the comments, and you can see that, thanks so much for posting my website. I'm also bedoria.com, so that's where you can get a lot of these. For those that might have missed it, I'm doing a second round of them. They won't ship out right away, but if you are wanting one, you can go on to bedoria.com, and grab one. So. Hey, Julie, glad you're there. Got my regulars on here, and Deborah and Patty and Teresa. It's so nice to see everybody. All right, I probably won't be able to read the comments, but I'm going to try to make this from start to finish. I think every part. I think we can do it. And I try to be a little bit better at having more precise measurements for you. But, I'm kind of usually... get a long piece of flex wire and but so I'm trying to be a little bit better for this one here. So you're going to see in your packet, these are a lot of components that we carry right on the website. So these are going to be some beautiful shell pearls in a 5mm size. We've got some 2mm faceted crystal rondelles in 2 different colors here. And then we've got all of the beautiful crystal encrusted goodies, along with some fun alphabet beads, a little bit different. We threw in a Bedoria charm in there as well. So you can decide to use those charms as they are, but I'm going to show you kind of the base of things so that hopefully you guys can make along with me. Does that sound fun? Oh, Sarah, I should have sent you one of these so you could make one.
Okay. It's okay. I'm watching. I'm here.
So you can make 2. Well, I can still when I get some more, pop another one in the mail.
There is a giveaway going on. I don't know if you saw that, Kay, but as people are watching, if you comment #SoftFlex wire, you will be entered into a giveaway. You must be present at the end to win. Let's see if we can get the most giveaway entries.
Well, excellent. And being mom, I was a little bit also overwhelmed, so I didn't quite get something thrown into the swag. But what I am doing is, if you put SoftFlex in the comments, or customer appreciation, anything with SoftFlex in the comments when you check out on Bedoria.com, I'll be throwing something in there for you.
Ooh, okay? That's exciting.
And I always kind of like surprises. I always feel like life doesn't have enough surprises. So,
I love a surprise.
So, always a little fun. So I'm going to be starting off with some of the SoftFlex beading wire. These are both items that you certainly can get onto Bedoria.com, but of course, I always want to be supporting SoftFlex because you guys are one of my biggest supporters as well. And so you can certainly grab that from the SoftFlex company. We're going to be using some 22 gauge gold and some fine SoftFlex along with some crimps. Okay, so gold 2x2 crimps. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab some footage of this. I'm going to start out with 2 feet. I always feel like you better have more than enough. Grab those cutters and we'll get started because I feel like some of the things that we're going to learn today is you can kind of use them separately. So we're going to be doing kind of like a multi-strand as well as little weaving things and not just braiding things. So I've cut 2 feet of fine SoftFlex. Okay, and what we're going to do is I'm going to line the 2 ends up here and we're going to string on a crimp because we're going to start off with the base here. Okay, and we're going to string this crimp through all the way to the other end. So we're going to pull this. So I'm hoping that we're clear and it's bright. I'm trying to be better about a good setup here. Is it looking pretty good? Let's see. Okay, it looks pretty good. You can see the light. And it's daytime. Oftentimes I'm on at night. So it's a little bit harder.
I can see you and hear you so well.
Excellent. So we're going to kind of go. So we started at the one end. We're going to put the crimp all the way to the other. And I'm also not used to being horizontal either. So we can always fit more into the screen. How about we can put all the things there. And we're going to just make this fairly tiny, okay? We don't want this loop to be very big. We essentially only need it to fit a 22 gauge piece of wire, okay? We want to make this kind of tight because we want to be able to hide it, okay? And I'm an old school crimper. I'm not a ravioli girl, although got myself Italians in the family. Okay, but I kind of got the old school 2-part crimper. That's what I'm I'm used to. So if you have those, that's the 2-part process. So we can maybe kind of review that since we see Sarah.
Ravioli time so much.
But I like it. But this is going to be hidden. So we're not even going to see this, but we still want to keep it small because we're going to be putting them into these nice crystal cones here. Okay, so we're going to start off this way. Let's open these strands here and open all of the bags of beads so you guys can get your stations ready. I'm just going to dump everything out. I'm going to be just like you guys watching and see. Here's my letters. Here's my crystal cones. This is the bead charm, all encrusted with crystals, even the clasp. Because for those that know me, I like to sparkle. I like to do this as sparkly as I can. So we've got 2 colors of crystals, and we're going to go ahead and cut those babies open. Let me see if I can find the ends here so I don't have them all falling off of one end. So I'm going to open both color strands. One's kind of a considered a rainbow color, and then one is kind of what I would consider our magic green color. Now these are 2 millimeters, and then we'll have our crimps up here. I'm gonna need just a little pinch of those, like a little recipe, right? All right, first things first, we're going to string on, let me get these a little bit more even. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to string the fine wire through one crystal, but we're going to put both of the string through this wire and bring that all the way to the end. Okay, and then we're going to start a split, and I'm using the green, what I call the magic green. Okay, so we're going to put one crystal, one shell pearl, okay, and then another crystal. Okay, and then this side we can add another shell pearl. Okay, now sometimes the shell pearls, the holes are not always drilled through, so you might have to take a little piece of wire to do a little poke through. Okay, so that's going to be on one wire, and then on the other wire we're going to do the same, only we're going to only do one pearl. Okay, we're going to start kind of doing a weave. So I've got a crystal, we've got a pearl. And I love shell pearls. Well, I like pearls altogether, but what I like about these is we also carry these in all the odd sizes. So oftentimes beads are done in a 4, 6, 8 millimeter style. So we're going to kind of have a match. If you want to get technical right here, they're going to start out with a match. I put on an extra one here because we're going to weave this. We're going to take the one that has the single pearl, and we're going to go back the opposite direction here. Okay. So this is kind of like bracelet number 1 is kind of what I think of. So you could technically do this as one style bracelet in itself. Okay. So you'll see we're coming in that opposite direction, and I'm going to pull that through. And what that's going to do is when we're going to be kind of doing a figure 8. So it kind of creates this effect right here. Okay. And then we're going to pretty much be continuing this process. This is going to be it's a 2x2 crimp, Ellen, is what we're going to be using. And at the start, we're kind of tapering a little bit. So here you're going to see kind of 3, but you're going to start seeing where it kind of looks a little bit more like 4. So again, we're going to put on a crystal, a pearl, a crystal, and we're kind of repeating this process. So on one side, you can do 2 pearls, and then on the other side, we'll just do the 1, and then we're going to cross through the pearl. And we're going to do this until we get to a length. I think I figured it to be So then we're going to cross through. So the one that has the second pearl in there, we're going to go the opposite direction. So if we've got the string coming out this way, going to go back through the other way. And that's why you need to use fine, because the pearl holes are oftentimes fairly tiny, even for shell pearls. So sometimes you have to put it. Is a shell pearl a pearl carved out of thick shell? It's taking the natural nacre and kind of making it. And this is one of those ones. So I've given you plenty. I'm going to try to pick ones that are just easy enough to do. And sometimes you could also use probably very fine wire as well. And push this through. Sometimes I take my Kino, so you can get that push through. Or like I said, you could take hard wire. But you want it when we're kind of pushing through, I'm pushing right next to the pearl. I couldn't get my fingers in there to do that, okay? And then you're just going to pull this tight, and we're going to kind of see what happens here with how it comes around. So we have that one on the end.
Are these glass pearls?
They're shell pearls.
Shell pearls. So I think what that means is it's mother of pearl that has been reconstituted, right? And then
yes, kind of crushed up.
Of it.
And then they take the natural pearl luster, the nacre, and use that to create the
coating on the top.
Create that coating on there. So in this case, we carry white, and we carry kind of this. It has kind of a rainbow finish in these dark. In this, kind of looks like a Tahitian.
Yeah, they're really pretty. I love. Is that what color are those?
I consider them a kind of a black.
Okay, are they black? Sometimes you can't tell on the screen if they're like a dark gray or or more.
But they have a whole lot of rainbow in them. So who has a kit? What would you describe it as?
Yeah, who has these beads, and what color would you call them?
Because to me, I feel like they kind of have that sophistication of like a Tahitian style black pearl, like a South Sea. Okay, so again, we're doing a crystal, and then a shell, a crystal, and then on one strand, we're going to take that last crystal and cross through. So we're going to go one direction here, and then we're going to take the other. So it's kind of doing kind of like a figure 8 design. Okay, and I'm going to do this for a little while. The next part will be a little faster, but this is probably what I consider, the therapeutic part, where you kind of can get into a rhythm. And we're going to create, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about a dozen, and then we should get to the other end. Okay, so we've done 2. Okay, and then we can continue on the process. So Sarah, I know you were busy with the kids. I'm doing the Boy Scouts right now.
Are you doing Boy Scouts?
Yeah, they're going camping. We just had our first couple meetings, and Jonah's really liking it.
It's so fun.
He's excited to go on a camping trip. I know that you were just doing something with the girls, so.
Oh my gosh,
selling cookies. You know what? I have to sell popcorn.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm a co-leader for a Girl Scout troop. This is is this our 5th year? I think this is our 5th year. And it's really fun. They're actually this weekend going outrigger kayaking on our waterway that we have here in Benicia with the Outrigger Club. But they do all sorts of really cool stuff. And if you ask my girls like what their favorite activity is, it's almost always on the top of their list, because the diversity of things that they do is really fun, I think. And now
I'm excited.
Now that they're getting older, we're kind of honing in on the things they love the most, which is like outdoor activities. And This year they picked outdoor activities and community activities. So doing things about our community and being in our community, and then doing outdoor activities like hikes, kayaking, camping, those sorts of
Yeah,
things.
and I think that's so good and wholesome, you know.
Mhm. It's nice. It's really
Well,
nice.
it gives you a little a break of having to come up with all the things since you are the Ayler School of Magic.
I know. Yeah, I have enough. Thankfully, since the very beginning, we've been a troop where all of the parents have to contribute. So everybody runs a meeting. So that helps. Like I just help with the administrative stuff mostly, or fill in a spot if something happens. But
Let me take a
um,
wire
it's
here.
pretty good.
Well, that's fun. I know that you are so active and you are an impressive mom too. I'm
Oh,
kind of just sometimes poking the hole here, just to kind of make it a little bit more
mm. I
open.
I have a fourth grader, a second grader, and then I have a little boy who's a preschooler.
Oh my gosh! So Jonah's in fourth grade, so right in that same age.
Yes, yeah. And I'm hoping my husband will take over Boy Scouts though.
Yeah, I'm on
Here's
that
a
too,
little
but I
guy.
wanted to be there for the first couple meetings just to kind of, you know, make sure I've, like see how the troop is, because I guess there's different, I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of different troops and they kind of run them, a little bit differently. Like when I walked into this
yep.
particular group, it was like, whoa, oh my gosh, this is like a really intense group versus the one we had when we were in Virginia. I mean,
Mhm.
they are like popcorn crazy and all,
Yeah.
like
No, yeah,
um
totally.
and all this stuff. When
We
making this
try to
type of
take
jewelry, I'm sorry, I'm
over.
reading this
Yep.
question here. When making this type of jewelry, is it better to use SoftFlex wire or Fireline? For me, I would say SoftFlex because it's going to be sturdier, and yet just as flexible. I guess I'm not a weaver in terms of like seed beads, but we're using bigger beads in this case, and so I prefer SoftFlex or flex wire.
It'll be a little stronger because it's made out of steel. So as a bead is spinning and cutting into the wire, it'll just last that much longer.
On top
Just
of we're using crystals, and crystals can be sharp. So, although Fireline is, very, very strong too, I would say in this case, that's why I chose SoftFlex. I mean, I always choose SoftFlex.
let's see. Oh, Terry asked, Sarah, did you see whales on your trip? We did. We saw over 6 humpback whales.
I was so impressed with all that you saw.
It was really kind of amazing. Yeah, it was really kind of amazing how much we saw. It was a very clear day, so we were able to get out
Because
there and
sometimes you
see a
see
whole lot.
nothing.
I know. Yeah, we had a really good tour, and it was a whole boat of homeschoolers. So it wasn't very many people, which was nice. The kids could move around and like really get where the whales were and see them well. And then it was nice because it was with a bunch of other kids. So that's just nice in general.
Yeah, that's what I really want for Jonah, and that's why I have him participating. Because we did soccer for him, but he's not an aggressive player, and he's
Yeah.
not competitive really. So I mean, we've tried it twice. He did it when he was a little bit younger, and he was willing to try it again, but he it just isn't for him. But I was proud that he was willing to give it a try again, and
Mhm.
and he still doesn't like it. But he likes his jersey or his outfit, but
Yeah.
but
Patty,
and
I
being
feel
part of
kind of,
a part of something,
yes.
I think he enjoys that part, but
Yeah, it's hard, it's fun to be on a troop with some other kids your own age and get to experience all sorts of neat things that you may not experience otherwise. Patty says, my husband and I were scout leaders, and we were always surprised when parents would just drop their kids off and not participate. I was sad for those kids. I'm kind of sad for those parents. I have a lot of fun and a lot of fond memories from scouts. So I I feel you. Thankfully, from the very beginning, our troop was set up so that the parents have to participate to be in the troop. And that has been really wonderful because I think it's become a little bit of a mommy and me group where the
Yeah.
moms all know each other really well and I can rely on them.
Well, I was surprised at how many, how many moms, and there actually were girls in the
Uh-huh.
group, in the
Yeah,
Boy
girls
Scouts.
can
So
be in
I
boys
didn't, I
and girls.
didn't really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? I see. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know. I don't know. I didn't know if there's like a ruling, I guess, of any
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah, I don't know when they opened it up to girls, but I know we have a troop here that's girls and boys.
Yeah.
It's
So,
nice.
I mean, which is great. So then I didn't feel so awkward, but really my husband and I both went. So he had like quite the little entourage.
Nancy's talking about how she had girls and boys in their troop and that it was the time of her life. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Really.
and I think it's like a happy medium. So, because like I said, he's not super competitive. He likes to be part of a team, and I mean, although he's very active, I mean, is a boy, but at the same time, just active in a
Right.
different way.
As far as homeschooling goes, this year I'm homeschooling through a public charter school, and I have a certified teacher that is my assistant or partner. And I do have to have an approved curriculum, a secular approved curriculum, but it's a very long list to choose from. And I took all summer looking at the options and ended up
that's
figuring
a
out kind of
that's a
a
lot.
it is. It's a lot to go over and figure out, but we picked some good things. We're 3 weeks in now, and I'm feeling pretty confident we picked the right things to go through the school year. But it's actually been nice because I don't have to think so much about the school day. It's very laid out for me in some respects, and then I can make choices about anything extra.
I felt
Good.
like that when COVID hit and we did virtual. I
Uh-huh.
felt like I got a little bit a taste of homeschooling without having to come up with that whole curriculum. And
Mhm.
Jonah did really well in it. I know not
Yeah,
all kids did, but
excelled in that, right.
yeah. But it for him, he liked being home. Now, he just doesn't like being away. He doesn't mind school or doing the stuff, but like
Uh-huh.
he doesn't care to be away from home that
Yeah.
much.
I have one kid that's like that, and then I have one kid that is very social, and she really loves being around people, but she is more challenged in being able to do school at school because she has a lower um, ability to focus. So,
Hmm.
it's actually been really fantastic for her to be at home too, even though she misses being around people every day. We just have a ton of activities that get her
Yeah.
around kids every
Well,
day.
and I feel like this day and age really accommodates the versatility of learning for each and every child
Mhm.
too. So I mean, because I
Yeah.
looked at homeschooling and everything, but I felt I want I grew up in public schools, so
Me too. I would have never imagined I'd be homeschooling.
you
It
know.
just really is almost shocking to me when I stop and think about it, but I do see the benefits of both, and I'm absolutely not against public school. I loved our school when we were going there. It's just this is where we're at. This is where we've come
Yeah,
to, actually.
but the homeschool is so much bigger now, like the
Oh, yeah.
availability and so many parents doing
Options.
that. So I think that has also helped that to be, even better for some kids.
Yeah.
Um, Another question: I finished jewelry that I had used fire line on that has frayed and now broken. What would you suggest for me to fix it? Well, it kind of depends on, I guess, sometimes the design. A lot of times seed beaters use fire line. You could use a heavier fire line, or a very fine, or you can also use a very fine SoftFlex wire too.
Mhm.
Um, and
Mhm.
that almost feels like fire line. So I feel like that's kind of probably interchangeable for the most part. I think it usually comes down to the ending on things because, you know, sometimes it doesn't quite cinch the same way. So you know, if you're trying to use a crimp or, I mean, although SoftFlex is knottable, you know, it may not be conducive to the style design, you know, that was created. So I don't know.
What do you find is a good average size for a bracelet? If you're just stringing a regular bracelet, I would use at least a 1/9 if possible. Sometimes your beads won't fit on it, but most of the time they will. And that's a thicker diameter that's going to really be able to handle all the movement that bracelets get as they roll up and down your arm. If you can use 024, it's even stronger and better for a bracelet.
In fact,
not always.
I was bringing in, since I want to show how old, here's very fine.
Look at that. That was pre-Kristen. That's what the label looked like before Kristen.
I mean, I'm thinking, let's see. I mean, this is so old. I mean, I mean, there's very little on it. But, you know, this is like from my mom's day, and I feel like it's like a collector's item.
No, it's probably from like 1999, Kay. Like, really.
I feel like maybe even before that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I feel like, I mean, I think that we have one of the oldest customer numbers.
Probably. Yeah, I would think so. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, all right, I think I've done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, look, I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of getting close to the end. I'm kind of doing a dozen, and then we'll do this ending.
Okay, great. Sherry said, why don't you do a Girl Scout beading party live, Sarah or Kay? You know what the girls have been bugging me to do? They want to make their own YouTube channel. And I've been toying around with the idea of doing like learn how to bead with kids sort of channel.
I think that's great.
Which would be great for Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts too, to tune in. But I just haven't gotten there yet, but I am thinking about it because I know they would love like making the videos and choosing the projects and helping me make them. It's just, where do we find the time? That might be like a good summer project next summer or something when we have a little more downtime.
Right. We just keep adding more to our plate.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Well, and now that we're both, you know, kind of learning a new platform too, I know that you're learning that as well, and so that's been a learning curve.
I know. Yeah, we are both on the Whatnot app, and we're teaming up with a few companies that you know and love, like the Bead Place, Silver Silk, Christy Friesen, and then possibly a couple more are getting onboarded as well. And we will be doing Friday afternoon trains.
The Bead Bash.
Yeah, the Friday Bead Bash. And it won't always be the same, you know, run of people, or they won't be at the same time. We're just kind of working it out week to week and seeing who's available. And you'll be able to jump on there and do some live shopping with the variety of companies that we have there. I also wanted to mention Kay is part of the Great Bead Extravaganza. I know many of you love the Great Bead Extravaganza. If you haven't for some reason seen it, it is a Facebook group that you can join, and it puts on 4 events a year. And our next one is coming up on the 21st and 22nd of October. So make sure you join the group now and start looking for folks posting their kits for the event. Not everybody does a kit ahead of time, but about, I'd say, a quarter to a half will do a kit ahead of time. And then some launch the kit that weekend. Some don't have kits at all. They just have freestanding products that you can buy from their demonstration. But there's just a lot of great inspiration in the group. And every 3 months, basically, we do a weekend-long event, sort of like Customer Appreciation Week, but you've got 10 companies over the weekend instead of during the week. all doing a variety of really fun, cool jewelry making projects.
I like to say it's kind of like a bead retreat from your home.
Yes, it is. It's really fun. I'm so glad it's still going because it is huge to collaborate with that many companies, just like Customer Appreciation Week too. To collaborate at that level of working with 10 to 12 different companies for one single event it's a lot. It's a lot, but it is a lot of fun and it's worth it.
Okay, I've made it to the end. Dun, da, da, da. So
Oh,
this in itself, I feel like can be. Oh, Nile already released his kit. Look,
look
he
at
is so
him.
he is.
He's
I
on
know.
fire.
He puts us to shame. He puts me to shame. I'll tell you that
How
right
is he
now.
working a full-time job and doing that as his side gig and he already has his kid out?
He doesn't have kids. All right.
Yes, that's
all right.
it.
I'm giving. He doesn't have kids, and I don't think he has pets either.
He's not a troop leader. Yeah.
But he's amazing. All right, so I'm doing 12 here, 12 here, and then I'm considering this one to be like number 13, and then we're going to close this off with number 14. Okay, so we're going to taper here to the end, and like I said, this in itself can already be a bracelet, necklace, however you see it too, you know. So this is kind of where I'm saying that this is you know, kind of more than one style design in one. Am I under a time limit? Like I want to try to. I'm just trying to keep it.
No, you're good. We've got
Okay.
we've got a whole hour and 20 minutes before the next video, so we have a real deep break between them, so that we don't have to feel rushed.
Okay, awesome.
Don't feel rushed. I want you to enjoy.
I kind of wanted to do it from the very start to finish. I mean, I could have had, you know, parts done, but
I think it's nice. I think everybody likes just hanging out in the middle of the afternoon and, you know.
Well, and sometimes I feel like, you know, people might skip over some of those basics that people really like wish that you didn't, you know. And so so I decided I was just going to pretend to like start from the very beginning, just like you guys were opening the kit so you guys could make it with me. Okay.
I love it.
All right. So in this last one, okay, we're not going to be putting a pearl here, okay, because we want to kind of taper this end here. So we've got, so we're going to end with the pearl, crystal, pearl, crystal, crystal, pearl, crystal, and then this is where we're going to put that single crystal to bring it all together. And you can see there'll be some extra parts in here, so that if you have some pearls that you have issues with, you could see during it, I decided just to make sure it would go through, but I was sticking the 22 gauge through the hole just to make sure that we were able to fit the wire through. And some of them are a little bit puckered too, so because sometimes, you know, when they're drilling the hole, they just drill it one way and it's kind of pointy on the one side, and so it doesn't always make it as thick on both sides. All right, so we're gonna finish this end, and you're gonna see, let's see if I can be nice and close. I've got a new cam here, so I think I can get nice and close and still be clear, and not bump the light with my belly. That happens with my other light.
I know
it's like shaking.
Clarity has really gone up substantially, so I can tell you have something new going on there.
Yes, thank you. All right, so in this case, we're going to use another 2x2 crimp. We're going to have both of the wires kind of going the same way, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to string. Then I can't see under it though, you know. That's the only problem. To try to be so close. So we're gonna string on the crimp, and then we're gonna be making a loop. So we just need to take one of these wires back through, and then we're gonna crimp it with that tiny little loop, and then we can cut off all the excess here. And a nice 2x2 is easily able to accommodate the 3 fine wires. And sometimes you can certainly fit 4 actually. So you can do like a double strand. The only thing is you want to try to, make this fairly tight so you can see. But, this is a lot of this is going to be hidden. So I'm trying to pull that so we get most of the slack out. And then we're going to pull this really, really tiny. Okay. And I just want to be able to at least fit. And you could even almost stick your wire in there, but I want it just a smidgen bigger. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and crimp. Okay, so we're going to be crimping quite a lot. So I'm using the 2-part crimper. So we're going to first make it into the little lips or the little heart or the little jelly bean, whatever you want to call it.
Man.
And we're going to crush once. And then what's important is kind of turning it to that 90-degree angle when you do that second crush. So it kind of is like poking your fingernail into it. And then that makes the crease. And then essentially that's where you're going to want that second crush to be. Let's see if we can get it clear. I don't know. Boop. And for me, I tend to like to, just be sure. And I take a third crush right where that is to make sure that is crushed tight. Okay. All right. Taco time. Hey, Janelda. How's it
you
going?
a taco t-shirt and me a ravioli t-shirt, and we'll take a picture together.
I love it. I love it. Tacos. I hadn't heard that
Tacos or
yet.
ravioli. Take your pick.
Is that what you guys call that style? I didn't know that. That's actually new to me. Okay. All right. So that's step number 1. Okay. So now I find that this part is going to be a little bit quicker because this is already on string. So we're going to take another piece of find a SoftFlex. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with a crimp. And we're going to do that tiny little loop. Okay, we're going to be stringing 8 inches of crystal, and this is where it takes very little thought. We're going to still keep this kind of as small as we can and crimp it tight. And when things come on the strand, it makes it a lot easier to do this part. And if you don't do a perfect crimp, don't hate yourself. Okay, you could do it again, but really this is going to be hidden. Okay, and that cap is plenty big to fit all the stuff. Okay, but we do want to keep it tiny. Okay, because we don't want a lot of length, otherwise you are going to end up seeing what you don't want to see. All right, in this case, cut off about 1 foot. We're stringing 8 inches, but it's easier just to have a little bit of slack. Okay. So like I said, I was trying to have some measurements because I'm not always great with that. I'm an eyeballer. So, but when you have them on the string, if you just hold them right on there, you can usually get them strung pretty quickly. So we're going to do about 8 inches and
hands up just a little.
Oh, sorry.
Here you go.
I'm trying to be able to see.
I know. I feel you.
Yeah, you can see my bag. You can see the other camera.
It's so hard to see with the camera sometimes in the way.
Well, then because I always feel like things are far away on the screen, and I'm a close-up type.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I want to get this end off so that it's easier to pull. And we're going to do this for both sets of colors. Oopsie, there a whole bunch. But you're going to have plenty left over, okay? So you can have a few drops.
Probably true, Nancy.
Bless you. Bless you.
The person who taught me crimped with regular pliers didn't know about crimping tools until years later, probably why some of my early pieces broke. Yes, that's true. Good crimping pliers, good crimps, and good wire are all very important to having a good, well-constructed piece of jewelry.
Yes, absolutely. But, if you crush flat pretty well, it ought to still hold. It's just bigger right
Lisa,
here.
do you feel like you're watching Two Housewives and Customer Appreciation Week? Or, or like
As we
the real
chat about
housewives
kids
of the
and
beat world? Or are
hey.
you literally watching the Real Housewives of some city? And
I hope that we don't have that much drama. I mean,
sometimes, but not between you and me.
It's those other moms, right?
It must be, yeah.
Now, one of the things I want to say about this 8 inches that we're stringing when we crimp is that when we crimp, we're actually going to leave a little bit of slack in it. But the idea is that this is going to reach about 8 inches with the loop. Okay, and I'll show you once we get there. But this is where it doesn't have to be that the beads are so tight onto the strand. There can be some movement, and in fact, a little movement, like say, you know, 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch, you know, is not going to be terrible. So if you're not one that like is able to crimp really tight, this is going to be perfect. Because it needs a little bit of slack to wiggle its way through. So you can see we're at about, let's see, I've done about 5.5 inches there. Ooh, I'm not used to being wide there. Wide in person and wide on screen.
It's a lot of width going on.
Yeah, that you can see, you can actually see my whole ruler. Used to being vertical here. But you can see how fast it can string if you can get, you know, about six beads on there. And this is the fast part, because you don't have to do so much thinking. We're just stringing and chatting. All right, so we're
It is
getting closer.
absolutely so much fun to watch. Always learn something new from her.
Oh, Janelda, you're always, she's like my #1 cheerleader.
Heather had a question. She said, "Are you using the green shiny still, or did you switch to the metallic?"
I'm still using the green, but actually we're going to do this with the metallic as well. So we're going to actually be doing both strands because we need two. We need 2 of these.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
we're doing one with one color and one with the other color.
Do not feel rushed at all, Kay. Someone mentioned also our next video is Kristen, and she's, you know, she's fine. She'll don't worry. And we have plenty of time
for
between
those that also watch me, like Janelda, no, I'm a speed beater. I'm a done by dinner type. So it's like I'm still gonna be done pretty quickly.
Good.
So we're kind of at that 7.5. Like I said, I want to leave a little bit of slack on there because I find that the weave ends up being a little bit easier to get through. So so you can see here, wow, you can almost see like the whole 8 inches. That's amazing. All right, so here is the end, and that includes the loop here, okay? And then I'm over here, and then I'm going to make a loop right now, okay? So you can kind of see that there's a 1/4 inch. If I'm a little over 8, okay, where, you know, this is where you can be kind of close, but it does not have to be completely exact, okay? We're going to go ahead and crimp this other end. And leave a little teeny. What size crystal am I using? Is a 2 millimeter. So this is where I'm going to make like a bigger size loop, and then I'm just going to pull that crimp back to give me that slack.
Can they find this kit still on the Beadoria website?
Yes, I'm going for a second round. So if you like what you see here, yes, you can order it. It's not, it's getting prepared right now. And so if we can have an idea of how many, we're going to try to fulfill what we can there since it's sold out.
So are you doing a pre-order version this time?
It's like kind of like a pre-order. I know I've already got some in the making, but if I know that there's like, you know, a larger order, then I can produce some more.
Okay. And if they wanted to just get some of these 2 millimeter, I think you said crystals,
Yep,
you can
we
buy
have.
those too,
I
right?
think, yeah, we should be able to have the. I think we should have those
In lots of
on
different
there. I know
colors.
we have all the shell pearls on there. We're actually getting those in some more sizes, but I like itty bitties. So it's a 2 millimeter faceted rondelle is what we're using.
You know what this reminded me of when I saw it is the fancy Taylor Swift bracelet.
Oh my gosh, that is so hot right now. In fact, I was working on a a whole kit to make that, to make a whole bunch of those, because we've got the letter beads now. We have them in the
I need
black.
some of those.
Yeah, and we have fancier ones, so you can do fancier Taylor Swift. We don't have to do
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Well, my girls they love Taylor Swift, and we could never afford to take them to the concert. Like it's ridiculously expensive. But
Yes.
that she has the movie of her concert coming out. And so I
Oh.
got tickets with a girlfriend who also has 2 little girls, and we were going to make bracelets before the movie. So if you have these bracelets,
Ooh, that's a.
I will be buying them from you.
Well,
That
you
would
can
be
certainly buy the letter beads, because
easier.
I'm sure you're not short on beads.
That's true. I know, but it's nice to be able to support you as well.
Oh, you're so sweet. Maybe I'll have to send you over a pack of stuff. All right, so you can see that there's just a teeny bit of slack here. Okay, you could have actually a little bit more, but the idea is I want about 8 inches right here. Okay, and then we're going to do it again. Only now we're going to pull out and so you'll still have some leftover. So, like I said, you'll have some leftovers to be able to make a whole nother bracelet of some kind.
Do you
Okay.
see that question there at the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, I prefer. I guess I don't really have a preference. I grew up using 2x2s, but in this case, I mean, if you used a crimp round, but I guess I've just gotten stuck on using tubes because
Yeah,
that's just what we've always carried. So I
they're
tend to
better.
go for 2x2s.
I think they're better. I'll
Yeah.
just say it outright. I
There,
think
there you go.
They're stronger.
Sarah.
They anchor into the wire better. The crimp beads are just a little tougher. They're usually made out of a base metal, which isn't as nice. Okay, so question about what is a Taylor Swift bracelet? I don't know exactly, but what I've seen is their bracelets
what would your call
have
be?
little words, letter beads made into words that say things like names of her songs, Swiftie,
Eras tour.
Yeah, like all eras tour, like all sorts of little words that are, Taylor Swift like words.
So she just started a really big rage on I would see people with like 100 bracelets, like up and down the arms. It's just like
And
insane.
then you trade them as when you're at her concerts. It's my understanding that you can like meet a new friend and give her a bracelet, and then they give you a bracelet, and you switch them around, and everybody just is really big on these bracelets.
Yeah, so I think that was a huge draw for us beaters,
Oh,
and
yeah.
especially those that have girls.
Anybody who's making bracelets, I'm happy about it. Like I love when people are making jewelry. So if Taylor Swift wants to introduce jewelry making to
Yeah,
the masses,
by golly, I
am
ain't stopping
for
it.
it.
And I think somebody asked what these letters spell, and it spells be yourself.
Oh,
Which is the name of the kit. So that's I think that's probably what you were thinking when you were thinking of Taylor Swift bracelets.
So now did Taylor Swift steal your idea?
Uh-oh. How dare she? So now I've moved on to the next color. Okay, so we've done 1/8 inch strand. And now we're going to do the other size, or the other color, the rainbow, because I always like the rainbow. And actually, I usually do brighter colors. So I'm actually surprised that I I was trying to choose a little bit darker because I like the way it looked, but oftentimes I'm all rainbow.
We're having a little Nancy disagreement in the chat. One
Uh-oh.
Nancy likes the tubes, one Nancy likes the beads.
Well, you know what? I know we technically carry
Whatever
both.
works best for you.
Yes, we have something called bits kits, and so we have where it includes all the things, and so in those we kind of carry the rounded crimps, but we also carry. I also have the tubular, but to be honest, I tend to use tubular most of the time.
Yeah, it does matter what kind you get. That was a very good point Nancy made. Tubes can be really shoddy sometimes if they're very thin. They'll kind of crumble and they're not good to use.
And we're talking about when she says thin, we're talking about like the walls, the thickness of the wall, and then also the sharpness. So sometimes when it's like cutting something in a true he-she cut where it's like a straight slice versus where you have a bunch of things sticking out and sharp. And so yes.
There we go. Our friends over at Art Beads recently did a video or a picture of a Taylor Swift bracelet, if you want to check that out. Amy loves the colors in your kit. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I was trying to kind of be more fall, but still colorful was what I was going for.
I love it. It's so elegant. All of your designs are very elegant.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, and I like to try to take those kind of simple techniques and show that it can be, all you need, really. Sometimes I think we get intimidated by some of these seed bead techniques or, wire weaving techniques and thinking, man, I mean, it's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you can still make something beautiful with just a few simple techniques. And here is just going to be a simple wire wrapping and some simple crimping. And that's all how we put it together, I think. All right, I'm just measuring against this other one here. And then some of the magic's going to begin here. All right.
So I have a little bit of bad news for everybody out there. The Monster Mash design kits for the jewelry making party in October, Jesse James Beads was not able to make extras like they thought they would be able to.
Oh, no.
And so we are getting very close to selling out on both websites. SoftFlex has more supply kits than they do bead kits. So you could get a supply kit and fill in your own beads if you wanted to. But Jesse James Beads is going to run out of their bead kits fairly soon. So just be on top of it if you're planning on doing that jewelry making party. It's the fewest kits we've ever had for one of our jewelry making parties because there was a mix up on their end. So get your kits as soon as possible before they sell out. I just got an email saying they're 80% sold out and we're very close to the end is what that means.
You guys are so good about kits. Like I have a hard time doing that just in general.
Well, you're a one-person show over there in so many ways, Kay. We have a warehouse team that puts these things together.
Yeah. Well, and I like I guess I just think I would like to show a technique and say now you can do this in any color. Now run away with this idea.
I'm not very good at doing like a jewelry kit that is specific to a project, but I do like a themed kit that I can make whatever I want and you can make whatever you want from this kit. That's my deal.
And I don't know. I just like to make and then say, you could use any round bead here, or this one, is ended up being a little bit more particular because sizing is going to matter. Okay. Because things aren't going to fit. They're not going to weave right. If we don't use, I think I made that a little long, but you can see there, it's a little off, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see that you probably won't even be able to notice.
Yeah, because they're gonna lay together, so they don't have to all be the exact same thing,
All
right?
right, now I think we've got all the pieces, and then you guys can decide on how you kind of want to do the ending a little bit. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our kind of our 3 base things that we need to do a little bit of the magic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of the 22 gauge wire here and cut off this end right now and make a tiny loop, and I'm going to kind of connect this one in because I find it's a little bit easier to keep it together when we're doing this section here. Okay, so if you're kind of new to working with wire, we're just going to do a simple bend, and I'm using fine round nose because I want this loop to be really, really tiny. Okay, I don't want it to, because I don't want a lot of distance from top to bottom here. Okay, so we're trying to keep it as thin as we can. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start this. We're going to do these from opposite ends. Okay, so if you can imagine here, we want this kind of coming like this on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to string, where'd my wire go? I can't see it. Okay, we're going to string on the one of the 8-inch strands, then we're going to string on this bigger piece, and then we're going to string on the next piece. Okay, and this is going to kind of hold all together here. Okay, and I'm going to actually just go ahead and close this shut so that I don't lose any parts. So I'm taking my chain nose and I'm going to just do a little bend, and I actually want to be, again, I don't want to be, oftentimes when you wire wrap, you're kind of wire wrapping up the wire, but again, we don't want this to be really seen, so I'm actually want it kind of going the other way if at all possible too, because we want to keep that distance again extremely short. Now it could vary if you're using, you know, different style cones, but in terms of this one, it's kind of it's a short distance. Okay, and it's easy to get really long, and then you start seeing the things you don't want to see. All right, so the strands are 8 inches, about 8 inches, including the loop. Okay. All right, so we've kind of got, we should have, okay, so we should have a crystal strand on top, and then we should have the other crystal strand on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to start this weave. Okay, so I'm going to stick this into the first hole, which is slightly tapered. I just want to make sure, oh my gosh, I hope my battery isn't going. I feel like it just went, I felt like my camera just went dim.
Oh, yeah. I had one of mine die out yesterday, midstream. It just, sometimes the stream is too much for it. But you can just come back and join us. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll just plug, I can plug in. I just have to grab the charger. Okay, so what I'm doing is on this very first one, it's going to be really tight. Okay, so we're going to go down through this first little loop. Okay, so we're going through this little end, and it's tighter through here than it will be through the rest. Okay, so that's why having a little bit of the slack is going to end up being nice. Okay, so we're pulling this going down. Okay. And then the other one, we're going to be coming up. Okay. So, and you're going to find that they're going to kind of sit on a left and right side. So you can just pick a side, whatever ends up being the easiest, however it flows. Okay. And then I'm going to come up with the other strand that was on the bottom and come up. So in essence, we're kind of doing a figure 8 with it going this way.
I have never seen someone do this before.
Okay, so yeah, and there's a little trick because you don't want to actually, let's see, that one pulled actually quite quite easily through. Okay, so we're kind of doing like this here.
I love it.
Okay, now the trick on this is going to be when we are weaving through, like, so now you can see this one is going up, so now we want to go down into this hole here. All right, now we want to kind of be, I find that it's best to crisscross, otherwise you don't want them kind of doing this together. Okay, so when we come up, okay, so if this crystal was kind of, we had the, you can't tell right here, but you had the rainbow on the right side, and then you had the magic green on the left side when we came through. Okay, so now we want to have this green on the right side, and so when we come up, we want to come up on this left side. Here, can I hold that closer? Maybe you can see it. Okay, and we're going to be doing this all the way through here. Okay, so you'll kind of see, but from the side it kind of looks like a figure 8. Okay, and then we're going to go back down through, and I'm not pulling super tight here, okay, because then you end up trying to you'll have an overage right here. Okay, so you'll be able to do a little bit of adjustment. Okay, it isn't exactly and now I'm stuck to the wire spool. Hold on, let me cut this piece of wire off. I'm trying to struggle with the spool there. Okay, so you can kind of see this is coming down from, it was coming up from the left side. Okay, so now I want to kind of, when I pull it through, I want this one to stay on to the right side. So when I come up with the other strand, I'm going to be coming up on this left side. Janelle, you're so funny. Okay, so essentially here you can, it looks like just a wire weave, but if you don't crisscross it, you'll learn that they look a little funny, kind of trying to go side by side. Okay, and then we're continuing that pretty much through these 12 little or 14 little loopies. Okay, so see, this is coming down on the right side, so I want it to come up on the left side of the crystal, of the green.
So good.
Okay, and again, you know, so if you have a little bit of slack, you're going to be able to adjust a little bit once we get to the end. Okay, and that's why these strands are longer than the base. Okay, because it's going to need more. So that I find is the trickiest part when you're going through. Okay, because if you go through both ways, then it's going to just go together and up, and then you're going to have these side by side, and then they don't give you this kind of twisty. I don't really have a name for it. Can I call it the Come up with a name. I'm terrible. See, that's why I don't do kits either, because I'm terrible.
So I'm showing that you're sold out on this kit, but what I heard earlier is you plan to make more, and
it should be available online. I put more available online. Is it sold out?
Oh no, it's there. It's marked sold out on our customer appreciation week page. So maybe, Thomas, you can email Kristen so she can update that and make sure it's not showing as sold out.
Yeah.
This kit is only $35. You can replay this video anytime. It'll be in a playlist for SoftFlex Company on our YouTube channel. And
on both YouTube channels, actually, I think are we on YouTube
on your
too?
YouTube channel too. Yeah, I am seeing it.
In fact, I posted up a list of all of our old parties, Sarah. We have our own list, and so I put that on our page. So you can watch some of the oldies but goodies of all of our beading parties that we've had in the past, and our other customer appreciation.
Yeah. So you guys go grab this kit. It's so pretty. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I love all the colors. I love this weaving technique. Is something I've never even seen before. And I've been with the company for 24 years now. Such
Woo!
a
That makes me feel good.
fun technique. And it's only a $35 kit for just a gorgeous, sparkly bracelet. Looks like a great Christmas present waiting to happen for someone in your life that you want to give
You know,
something.
you guys are extra special when I come out with a kit because I don't do it very often.
This would be a great Halloween, and you can switch up the charms too. You could save the letters and the bee charm for a different project if you wanted, and hang a little cute little charm. I saw Abby from the Bead Place has some great new Halloween charms. She just added it to her store that you can check out.
And I've got a lot of skull beads too. So there's actually a whole Halloween little section on the Beadoria.com site too. Of skulls in all different colors and stuff. In fact, we've been making skull people.
The Halloween stash. Is that what it is? I'm on your website now.
Yeah. Well, and if you go into our group, Sarah, you'll see our Halloween people. The people have been making. They're really fun.
That's awesome. How long is the finished bracelet once you are all done with it?
I would say that it's about 7 inches, but you could make it larger because the base itself probably comes out to about 6 inches, and then you add the cones, the clasp, and all of that. So and then you can make it, technically you can make it adjustable. So you could add some chain there at the end. So, all right. So we're just kind of, now we're getting in the groove and doing the weave. Okay. So you kind of feel like you're kind of crisscrossing. You go down one side, up on the other, and just keep on going. And like I said, if you have some overage, well, you can pull some of the crystals back through a little bit, just so the ends will end up matching up. But I found that 8 inches, because you can see, but we're almost running out. And that's why I say leave yourself a little bit of a little bit of slack. I find that it's a lot easier to weave. Otherwise the crystals have no room to bend. It's technically doable, but it creates tension, and we know what tension does. It means breakage. Okay. Over time.
Here at SoftFlex, we call it breathing room. Leave yourself a little breathing room.
Yeah. And so I find that this, I would say you want breathing room for about 1/4 inch, maybe even a 1/2 inch. You could probably do, that's why I say don't beat yourself up if you didn't quite make them the exact same length, or that you didn't crimp super tight. This is a perfect bracelet for you to do.
Would you guys, if Kay were to do it, would you like to see this kit in other colorways? I see people already popping in saying how they'd like to see it in
my gosh, you guys are
variety, Halloween variety. Maybe instead of a kit, you could make an item list.
Right, maybe
this is what
I'm just gonna put in. You can use 2 colors of shell pearls, because these ones are 5 millimeter, and then you can use any 2 millimeter crystal you want.
I don't know. I'm getting a lot of yeses. I don't know.
I'm not looking. I'm turning a blind eye. It's like a big deal when I make well,
thank you for making a kit for this. We really
so this was I don't know why, and I'm not great with coming up with names. So see how that's coming around the side?
So pretty.
Okay, so here it is, kind of from the top. Okay, and we're getting close. Okay, so in the end it's going to get tight. Okay, so I'm going to look like I'm struggling here for a second. It'll be you too. Who else is? So, but it's going to be worth it. And that's why you really need the slack, because it's going to feel like it's going to break. Like I probably could have even had a little bit more slack than I left. Okay, see, we're on that last one here. And I guess you could probably skip the last one if you just can't even deal. You could totally get away with that. I'm going to see if we can do it. Make it for a Christmas gift. I'd love that. And I would love if you guys, I know that SoftFlex has a group, Stars. I also have a Stars Beads special stash group too. And that's where I love to see your bead life of what you're doing too, you know, because that's what my show is about, is showing a little bit of my bead life. And so I always love seeing yours. See, like this one, I'm feeling a little tight on this one. I can pull through, or I can just do just like I told you. Okay. And you probably can't even tell. Let's see. I came up on this right side. I'm going to go down on this other side, because that last one is super, super tight. And so you could certainly, okay, I'm just going to do it so you guys can see both ways, and you probably would not be upset either way. Okay. So I know we started off with it going through here, but I'm going to end this one just like that. Okay. And once you put the wire together, you won't even know. You won't even know, except for the people who are watching.
I found you someone to even do the kits for you. Okay, look at that.
Well, once I make it, I can. I would love it, Kim. I would love it. I could probably use it. It's hard when people are at a distance, you know, but I am working on that processing. That's actually a little bit why I have Bedoria.com that helps. I do have some people, but they're overseas a little bit. So that's oftentimes why things can take a little bit longer coming from me, because I have kind of processing all over the world, so to speak.
So we're up to 101 giveaway entries. It's definitely the highest, I think, of the week so far. And if you get to 125, I will do 2 giveaways. So
you guys, we can do this. I love the numbers.
And share this video so that
you guys make sure you like and share. You know
here.
how important that is. That's free support right there. You know, share the joy of beading, as Sarah would say.
Yep.
All right. Stringing. All right. Boom. All right. So see how you can barely even see the difference? Can you guys even really see the difference? Not much. Nope. Right?
Looks the same to me.
Yep. That's what I think. Just a lot of sparkle. All right, so we're gonna kind of wrap this little end up. Again, I want to wrap toward the loop versus away from the loop to keep this as tight and short as we can. We're gonna cut this off, and so there is a multi-strand. So for those, you know, for the great bead, I did multiple ways to use multi-strands. Well, here is yet another way. You can weave it in, and you can actually push this down if we find that it's too far. All right, here comes the finale. And I'm using every single minute here. Okay, so I'm sorry about that.
You're doing great. I love it. It's so pretty. It's worth the time, right, everybody?
Right. Okay, so here's those sparkly caps, and look, we're just going to cover that baby up just like that. Boom. Okay, we're going to put on I'm putting on one of the rainbow. Let's see, actually, I think I like these lighter color ones because everything is a little bit already dark. So I like to put this lighter crystal on. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this clasp here, and we're going to attach a clasp on one side. Then we're going to attach all the other tidbits. Okay, so if you don't like the whole bead yourself, you could also just do BU on the end too. Okay, so when we get there, I'm gonna make a loop, and again we want to keep this all tight and tiny. Trying to do this under the microscope, so it's a little, I feel like it's a little wonky. Okay. Yes. Yeah, you could. But I like it to be a little bit sturdier. I kind of like it to match. You can see the thickness of this gauge. So really, I'd rather go thicker than thinner. If, Ellen, I kind of want to say no, but technically you could, but I don't want, you wouldn't want this thing to, you know, pop and snap.
It's attaching the clasp, so that's going to be a wearing point. So if you get too thin and you're pulling on it to attach your clasp, it may end up snapping there. So it's better to go a little thicker probably.
Yeah, so if I were going anywhere, I would say, yeah, you could do a 20 gauge, but I like 22 because it's kind of that middle of the road. Okay, so here we've got the clasp attachment. Sorry, my wire wrapping looked a little bit wonky because I'm only have like 2 inches of space under here. So you guys can kind of see up close, even though it doesn't look as up close as it feels to me over here. But at least I'm staying on screen here. All right, so there we go. Then we're going to have this ending. We're actually going to have this charm ending here too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually switch this. So this comes with this one, but I think I'm going to switch it up. And these are both open. So we're going to I'm going to just switch the rings just because this happens to be a little bit bigger. And so I'm going to make this as the ring attachment for the other side so that the clasp hooks into this bigger piece. Okay, and then this is going to be the other side here. So let's do the other side. We're going to put the cone on top. So if you're new to using cones, this is the way to do it. All right, and I used a light crystal because the hole is a little bit bigger. So I don't like when you wrap. Okay, that would be if you're also using something thinner, it makes that loose and can go through the hole. Okay, so I tend to like putting kind of a bead on there, makes it look a little extra decorative, really finishes the piece off, and then.
Do you have these bead caps separate from the kit?
You know, I don't. These are kind of special to this kit. I did do them on a Friday. I did do them on my live on a Friday night live, but I could probably add that separate.
So maybe keep an eye on Kay's website for these. We do have a tiara cast end cap on the SoftFlex company website that I think would probably work well for this design as well, but it's more just solid metallic, not super sparkly. But it is an option if you're looking for something to make it work.
Yeah, because technically you can do this, of course, with any cone. But again, I'm a sparkle person, so the more sparkle, the better. All right. Now comes all just the little tidbits. So really, you could end your piece here. You don't have to have any charms if you don't want to. And now it's just going to be adding. Oh, I just opened that. That's okay.
Oh, was it a jump ring?
Well, it was a jump ring, but I was pulling. Like I said, I'm feeling a little tight under the spacing here because I can't see completely.
Yeah, it's hard. I know.
Like I'm normally used to, so which is fine. You can certainly wire wrap this, but sometimes it's a little bit easier when there's more to hold. So you could take your round nose pliers, stick it in that round loop there as we pinch down those ends. And this is not as clean as I like it right there because I just pulled that, but we get the idea. Okay, and then we're gonna just reattach this here, and then you can, and then if you know how to, add charms, that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing, is adding all the charms onto there. So I'll show you adding the bee charm on there.
Getting a little low again, trying to see what you're doing.
I'm trying to see what I'm doing.
I know you are.
That makes all of us, doesn't it? and look like I've done this before instead of like being new to it. Okay, so, and actually we want to stick this
Nope,
on.
the giveaway is still coming up at the end. Let me see. We've got 108 entries. That
Come on,
means
we're trying to get to 120. Don't you want to have her
120.
give away?
Yeah, 125. And I will do a second giveaway.
Look at
You
that.
can do it. Like and share this video because that will get it into everyone else's stream. And then you'll get more people who can enter. If you've already entered, don't bother putting it in again. It only counts you once. So don't worry about doing it yourself more than once, but we need more people to enter. And then I will do, I think that's fair.
Ooh, that's
25
exciting.
entries, we should do more than one giveaway.
I think that's awesome. All right, so now I'm kind of making the charms. I'm going to make this a little bit longer so it dangles a little bit more. So I'm going to add a little wire wrap here and then add a pearl to just make it look clean and complete here. Okay, so I'm putting on like a little crystal. Of course, you can do anything you want really here.
Abby, isn't this such a pretty design?
Oh, is Abby on here?
Yeah.
I literally haven't seen any comments except for
Abby's bracelet.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, I posted a link to Abby's bracelet earlier today. She has it in 3 colorways, and it's so stinking cute. Hopefully, you guys will go check that out at beadplace.net. If she has
when do you get to play with Abby?
She was here this morning with Kristen.
Oh, okay, that was nice.
Right before you. It must be Mama Day.
It must be. All right, so I'm kind of sticking this onto the loop. So I've made a little charm, added a little pearl onto there, and then we're just going to add it to that middle, that smaller ring. I'm going to add all my charms to that smaller ring here. And wire wrapping. But because this is a jump ring, I could have done all the rings together.
The giveaway is live only, and I will be doing it at the end of the video. So no, on the replay, you cannot enter. It will have already happened.
It will already be given away.
Will already be done, yeah.
You guys have a nice little system that like picks your winners, doesn't it?
I know, yeah. StreamYard has a good little giveaway tool. That's handy.
Right. There's one. Okay, so the way I did the be yourself is I'm going to take a little piece of flex wire and then what I did was I actually folded it in half is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put it through that small little ring again, and that'll be important that you make sure this ring is closed at this point. But if you want, actually, I'm going to put it through the loop that I know is closed that we made at the end of the cone. And then we're going to put a crimp right there on top. So you get lots of crimping practice, little wire working practice, so you guys can see kind of just like we started the whole project. We're going to crimp this and then just add your letters onto there and then crimp the bottoms, and then we can call of ourselves all finished. And then we can pull hopefully 2 winners. Okay, I'm getting close to being done, so make sure we're at 125.
Kay's kits are not sold out, and they are available at bedoria.com. And it looks like they're right on the top of her homepage. $35 for this beautiful, gorgeous kit. That's a steal. That's a super steal. So
here, and really you could hang anything. I just was, kind of thinking Taylor Swifty too, the things of just empowerment and uplifting. So
do you ship outside the USA, Kay?
I'm sorry?
Do you ship outside of the USA?
Yes, I do.
And Janelda, lots of Taco Tuesdays today.
So I'm putting a crystal on the top and bottom because the holes are a little bit big. So thank you, Terry. Thank you guys, everybody. It's a fun one. All right, so the way I'm just ending it is we're start having that crimp at the top, and then I'm going to end with a little crimpy at the bottom too. This is where you may want to do, you know, a ravioli since it's going to be seen, or you could use a crimp cover if you chose to. Like I said, I just make a nice clean taco.
I'm clearly going to have to make tacos for dinner now.
Yeah.
It's Mama Day and Taco Day.
It is Tuesday, so that we tend to do tacos as well. All right, and then this is it's going to say yourself over here, but if you don't want a long piece, you could just put BU if you want.
Does this kit come with written instructions, or should they just plan to watch the video?
I am a video only. We're lucky I got a kit together.
Right. I saw Jill Wiseman was trying to find everything she could to not have to write instructions today. Writing instructions and doing it on a video are just two totally different beasts.
That's one of the things I love now about lives is that you can just have video instruction. I
haven't written instructions in years, and I'm happy to say that.
Yeah, right. So there's Be Yourself.
So cute. I love those letter beads with the gold. Do you have those in your shop?
Yep. Those you can already get. Those are there's a whole category for all the letters. I actually have these also in black. I also have them in the oval, you know, kind of the more standard ovals that you might be used to seeing. And what I like about these cubes ones is that they're smaller. You know, some of those cubes are so kind of big and, you know, it's made for kids kind of thing. These I'm feeling like it had a little step of elegance in there.
Yeah, I know Abby has a lot of letter beads too. So there's just a variety out there of like letter beads that are very much more adult appropriate. And I think these are fantastic.
And we also have even nicer ones. So we have ones that are all crystallized. So we have charms and we have links and we have a nice combination. So you can put it right through there. And we have ourselves our Be Yourself kit.
That's
all
awesome.
done and finished. And like I said, this probably runs about easily 7 inches, maybe even a little bit longer.
We should all do, you and me and maybe Abby and a few others. We should do a Taylor Swift like bracelet making party live. That would probably go bananas because there are probably so many people searching how to make these bracelets right now.
Yeah. And I mean, and as we know, I mean, they're just doing it on stretchy stuff.
I know. We could make them so nice.
Or even string. It's just so, you know.
Yeah, we could make them so nice. Oh, Abby's in.
Abby's in. All right, awesome.
Abby, do you have people coming in asking for letter beads like every day for the Swiftie bracelets? I can just picture that in your shop, like happening all the time. This is so pretty, and I feel so inspired by this design, Kay. You did a really job. We are up to 116.
Come on, you guys.
Giveaway entries.
Let it happen. Come on,
we got to get just a couple more. I'll drop the number. If we can get to 120, I will do 2 giveaways. You need 4 more people that are brand new to enter the giveaway. And I will do 2 giveaways at the end of this video. Let me bring us up here.
And then don't forget to put SoftFlex or customer appreciation on Bedoria.com. So if you are grabbing those letter beads or those shell pearls or the kit, I want to throw something extra in there. So all you got to do is put it in the comments, okay? So you don't have to try to remember a coupon code or anything. You just write SoftFlex or
customer appreciation week.
Yeah. Then we'll add a little something extra in there for you.
Very cool. Well, let me go over while we have a couple people. I'm going to look and see. Oh, we only need 2 more. While we have a couple more people entering the giveaway, let me show you the schedule for the rest of the week. Here we are. We are number 5 of a 15 show week. Coming up next at 3 p.m. Pacific, that's just 20 minutes from now, 6 p.m. Eastern, we've got Kristen Fagan from SoftFlex Company. She will be using our fairy mushroom design kit. It is sold out, but we have parts of the kit going on sale tomorrow. We have about 20 to 30 extras of the bead mix, the chain, and the tassel mix. And they'll be sold separately starting tomorrow morning sometime. You'll have to, get on the website and look, but we'll send an email out to pop the link. So, but she will be making with that kit tonight. You saw what I made last night. So now it's Kristen's turn to take that kit, open it, and make something really fabulous for you. Tomorrow morning, we have the lovely Tracy Proctor from Tierra Cast On. She has a beautiful bracelet using some of their Keep the Faith collection. We have coffee and craft wire in the middle of the day. And then I will be back on with our new products in the evening, which will include our TGBE, the Great Bead Extravaganza Fall Fest Kit, launching tomorrow. Nile beat us, but we're right.
You guys are
right
both
after
so
him.
good.
So we have our kit going tomorrow, and we have some goodies that you can buy that will go along with it as well. We've got Danielle Wicks on Thursday, Jill Wiseman, and Rebecca Combs. And then Friday, we'll finish it all up with Sam Siegel and Nilay Patel, and then have a little after party at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern that you can join us for. I think we probably have, let me see. Did we do it?
Come on.
We did it. We did. Yay. Okay. Let me share my screen.
Yay.
And we will do our giveaway, and you guys did it. I'm going to do 2 winners today. You will both win a 10-foot spool of SoftFlex beading wire in purple amethyst.
How perfect. How perfect.
I know. It is perfect for you. You will want to email info@SoftFlex Company. Kim, yay! See, I know you're here, Kim, but make sure you comment and let us know, because we do check.
Is that Kim Carnes? Kim Carnes?
Kim Vanyon.
Oh, okay.
Is it not showing it? I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, I don't see it. There it is. Okay. Yay!
My computer's going slow on me. There's Kim. You are our winner of the first giveaway. I have one more to do, so stick around. But Kim, you're going to email info@softflexcompany.com. Let us know that you were one of 2 winners from Kay's show, and Thomas will email as well. And then just comment. Oh, there you are. She's here. Okay, next giveaway.
Yay!
Here we go.
Come on. Good luck, everybody.
It is Jill Stein, the cutest little donut dog on Facebook. You can also email info@softflexcompany.com. Let us know that, let them know that you won, and they will get your prize out to you sometime this week. Thank you guys for all being here with us. We had so much fun. This was our biggest viewership probably of the week yet, because I think we were just having such a good time, and Kay is just nonstop magic when she's making things. Make sure Jill is here. Did you catch Jill yet, Thomas?
There she is. The
comments always go by real fast. There she goes. Okay, make sure you email info@softflexcompany.com to claim your prizes. And I will see you guys, or we will see you guys again in just 15 minutes. Bathroom break.
Sorry, it took so long.
No, it was wonderful. I really enjoyed spending time with you today, Kay. Especially on a week like this, it's nice to be around somebody that I've known for so long, that I love so dearly. So thank you for being here.
Oh, well, we appreciate you, Sarah. You are a superstar too.
Thank you. All right. Love to all of you. Have the best time with Kristen, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.
Me too.
Bye, everybody.